The OHL looks ahead at each of our teams as the 2022-2023 season approaches. Joining me now is Kingston Frontenacs head coach, Luca Caputi. Coach, thanks so much for taking the time today.
Thanks for having me.
To dive right into things, what are you most looking forward to as this new season approaches?
Well, I think it's just another opportunity for us to continue to grow our culture here. It's been a little bit of a change in that regard, and it was a positive one last year. So just looking forward to obviously the young guys continuing to develop into greater roles and having that culture in place to push them and into whatever avenue life takes them.
It's a big year for Kingston this year, celebrating 50 years of OHL hockey in the city. Another big name that people continue to talk about is Shane Wright, whether he's going to end up in Kingston for the season or not. As his coach, what are your overall thoughts of his journey to the NHL draft, being selected by Seattle, and what do you think the future has in store for him?
Well, for Shane, I think that he's singularly focused on the NHL, and that's where his mindset should be. He's a tremendous human being, raised the right way, mature beyond his years, incredible teammate, and someone that obviously we've had the privilege to, should have been 3 years, but have him in our fold for 2 years. And, right now we're focused on who's in the building. That's not a knock on Shane. It's just he's not here, and what his focus should be is to play in the NHL and play there for a long time. So what he did for our organization is unbelievable, and we'll always remember that. But for right now, we're focused on singularly focused on the people that are available to us and how we can make them better and how we can grow as an organization.
Another name to take a closer look at is second round Chicago Blackhawks draft pick Paul Ludwiski. How important is he to your offense this year?
Yeah, well, for him, he's Luds is an incredible, obviously, two-way player at the same time. So he's someone who is detailed and singularly focused every day on bringing it from a team aspect and an individual aspect. And those are the types of players you want to build your program around. So he's going to obviously have to take a step offensively, and he'll be put in situations he wasn't put in last year for the most part. And we expect him to grow in that role and be a huge part of what we think is a good young hockey club.
Leevi Merilainen saw a lot of minutes last season, and Kingston general manager Corey Cooper has gone back to the CHL import draft looking for another goaltender. Ivan Zhigalov was drafted by the Colorado Avalanche over the summer and played in last year's CHL Top Prospects game when he played in the Q. What have been your early impressions of him?
A kid that brings it every day, has a positive attitude, wants to get better, real competitive. Something we strive for every single day here is we want to win the day, but at the same time, we want competitive people to push people into uncomfortable situations. So he's one of those guys as a goaltender that does it. And we're obviously focused on having a young group of hockey players do it the same way he does it. And we're really happy to have him. And we think he's going to be a huge part of or a huge piece to a young hockey club here.
Speaking on those younger guys, we've had a few weeks of preseason and training camp now. What rookies have really stood out to you so far?
Well, I think the two in particular, the 06 draft with Frasca and Battaglia, they're both, come highly regarded. But at the same time, I've been impressed with their ability to retain information and kind of put it into action, which is not easy as a young player, especially with Gabe, learning how to play 200-foot game with a lot of detail and the way we want to play is fast. So that's an important piece for him, is to learn how to play with pace and at the same time be in the right spots and understand situations. And with Jacob, he's been a breath of fresh air. He's got this big frame and the ability to make plays and retain information, and I kind of see his trajectory and his ceiling being really high. I don't know what that is yet, but at the same time, very happy to have him around. And at the same time, I think that there's going to be huge steps that he can take when he kind of, figures it out away from the puck. And that's something that we've talked about, but at the same time, he has a lot of intangibles when he has the puck. He's kind of an offensive threat already at a young age, which is tough to do in our league.
And finally, as we head into this new season, what would you say are your expectations for your team this year?
Well, we just want to compete, and our job as a staff and as an organization, as a team, is to get better every day. We want to compete every single night. We want our players to push each other into uncomfortable situations, which is going to be the reality of the season. And at the same time, I think if we're doing that on a daily basis, week by week, month by month, then we're going to see positive signs. And I truly believe in the young core there. They've seen it done right. They've seen us have success. So it's not like, something they're not accustomed to. So at the end of the day, we're going to obviously push the work ethic and the ability to retain information and be detailed. But at the same time, they understand that if we're not competitive on a day-to-day basis, we're setting ourselves behind. So I think they bought into that, and we're really looking forward to next Friday night and trying to get a win on home ice.
Well, Coach, thank you so much for your time today. I wish you and the Frontenacs the best of luck as the new season starts.
Thank you.